Could we have a big date coming up? April the 21st. I've just been watching Dan Wootton, and he says that King Charles is very ill. He could die at any time, and that he's going to give a speech to the nation on April the 21st. Why is this important? Because this date appears in IPEC Decode 2, April the 20th and April the 21st, and it's connected to the guy with the moustache. And Trump is the new guy with the moustache. People have been comparing Trump to the guy with the moustache. Also, it is 100 years since Elizabeth II on April the 21st. 100 years. Now, April the 21st is 111-day year. 111. A trinity. I've shown in my videos how Freemasonry worships duality. And out of duality, you get a synthesis, which is a trinity, which is represented by the goddess Isis with the two arms. And she gives birth to illumination, to the sun. And this is all about man's illumination with these 3 world wars. Now, on April the 21st, we also had last year the death of the Pope, aged 88, which was on the anniversary of the creation of Rome, Romulus and Remus, brought up by a she-wolf, which is Canis, the dog star Isis. What it's saying to you is that history has been created through this alchemical ritual of duality and synthesis. Now let's go through my points. So, King Charles is going to address the nation before he leaves to America on April the 21st. He is ill. He could die at any time. He's going special treatment for his cancer. This is all connected to William becoming king and his mother, Diana, who was associated with the goddess Isis and who died in Paris, a city named after Isis. The flame on the Pont d'Alma tunnel was directly cast from the Statue of Liberty. And the Statue of Liberty represents Isis, and she was in front of the Twin Towers when they fell. Diana is the moon goddess, Artemis. We've just had the Artemis mission. It seems to be some kind of signal for this event. We have the anniversary of America this year. And the monument to George Washington is an obelisk, and an obelisk is associated with Isis. And the Washington family and the Spencer family lived in the same house in Althorpe in England, and they are buried together in the same chapel. You can see that a hidden hand has been behind history, and it is exposing itself like never before. And could April the 21st and April the 20th be one of those important dates? So, King Charles is to address the nation. He was seriously ill on April the 21st. We had the Artemis mission, and it docked in the water. Now, I believe this is all connected to La Palma. La Palma is part of the Canary Islands. The Canary Islands is named after the dog, Island of the Dogs, Canis. What it really represents is Isis. And La Palma will be the event, a cleansing event, and it is connected to the cult of Isis. It is connected to a book by Apelles called The Golden Ass, and Shakespeare based Midsummer's Night Dream on that book. It's about mind control and illumination. Now, in Apelles, the man does witchcraft rituals in the Golden Ass. He's turned into an ass, but then he becomes enlightened, he changes back into a man, and he's baptized in the cult of Isis. He has become illuminated. This is about the illumination of man, man's third eye Atlas. So we have this Artemis, and it's connected to Easter. And Easter is connected to Isis. And I will show you this. And this connects us to the Pope. And this connects us to Isis and the Pope's death last year, aged 88. Duality, 88. Serious shit. You have a dog in the car in Back to the Future. The dog is Isis, which represents the pineal gland. Through the pineal gland, man can have mystical experiences and communicate with the spirit realm, which they believe is influencing this realm. It is of more importance than the physical world. So you have 8/8, the death of the Pope on the 21st of April, last Easter. We have Heliofant. And in Heliofant we have the guy with the moustache. Remember, he was born on April the 20th. April the 20th, April the 21st. He's doing the Trump sign. Could Trump be assassinated on April the 21st, April the 20th? The time of the great speech. Could we have the La Palma tsunami on that day? The Queen's anniversary, 100th year anniversary, Old Peak, Cumbre Vieja. The volcano erupted on the 19th of September. A year later, the Queen was buried on that day. The earthquake swarm on La Palma was on 9/11. Remember, it's all connected to 9/11. The Twin Towers. We have the hare, the Easter bunny, which is actually a hare. Down the rabbit hole, Alice in Wonderland, we have the coin with the king, and you see La Palma underneath the apple. The Easter bunny. So we have La Palma underneath the apple. I've shown this many times in my video. We have La Palma here, the heart-shaped island, La Isla Bonita, underneath the apple. It goes to the feet, which is Charles, because under the boot, under the shoe, is a crown coin. It has La Palma here underneath the apple. This channel spotted it first. Lewis Carroll. Mind Control. Down the Rabbit Hole. A Midsummer's Night Dream. Apellius, the Golden Ass, the Cult of Isis. Illumination. And then the apple splits in two. And out of the duality we get a synthesis. We get a synthesis and we get new life. And we get the illumination of the third eye from the Christ-type figure. We've had Bin Laden, we've had the lunar eclipse, and now we are going to have this war where you are having a coalition of the willing to support a certain country in the Middle East. It seems like we are actually going to the script of Albert Pike's letter, where you're going to have this conflict. And I believe after this La Palma event, you're going to have China. China will invade Taiwan, and then we're going to have a real Third World War. Now, there's lots of shield channels trying to doubt Albert Pike's letter. Now, from what I've researched, they parrot exactly what they see on Masonic websites. This is to make you believe that this is all kind of spontaneous. It's not. This is a man-made script. Secret societies. Now, then we have the Christ figure being born. Now, is it connected to April the 20th and April the 21st? Remember, the guy with moustache was born April 20th, April 21st. He died. His death was announced on May Day. Bin Laden's death announced on May Day. Bavarian Illuminati created on May Day. The Mayflower landed in America. It landed on 11/11. 11/11. Manhattan was discovered on 9/11. The Berlin Wall fell down on 11/11, which was another 9/11 date. Trump has been described as the new guy with moustache. He's also connected with Julius Caesar. America is connected to ancient Rome. The Pope, the death of the Pope, 88, serious shit. On the mythical foundation day of Romulus and Remus. The obelisks, ISIS. You have an obelisk in America. Washington Monument. Related to the Spencer family, Diana's family, who's connected to ISIS. This is all about William becoming king. We have the death of the Pope on that day. 88. Serious shit. The mythical creation of ancient Rome. We have the Queen's anniversary on that day. 100 years. The old peak. Cumbre Vieja. Old peak. La Palma. Easter is connected to Ostara. And Ostara is all about fertility, rebirth. And she was connected with rabbits. But the rabbit is actually a hare. The original Easter rabbit was a hare, which you see in I Pet Goat 2. It's actually a hare. And the hare is connected to the moon, with goddesses like Ostara, Freya, and Artemis, who is Diana, who is Isis. Rebirth, rebirth of the new age. The hare is actually the original symbol of Easter. We have La Palma, Cumbre Vieja volcano. Erupted in 2021, 19th of September. A year later, Queen was buried on that day. The earthquake swarm was on 9/11. This is all connected to La Palma, ISIS, Sirius. In 9/11, the hero of 9/11 was actually a dog. They place it between the two towers, the duality, the dog, Canis, Isis, Back to the Future, dog in the car, pineal gland, illumination, duality, illumination, the creation of Rome, Canis. E.T., a dog follows the alien into the spaceship and comes back to the boy. E.T. points to the boy's pineal gland, the secret cult of Isis, of man's illumination through understanding the duality. This is practiced by secret societies, and they are about to reveal their next move. And could it be on April the 21st and April the 20th? Will Trump get assassinated? Or could it be La Palma? Or a meteor? Now we have a comet which might be visible to the naked eye called Comet R3. Remember, you had Caesar's comet after he was assassinated. Is this Trump's comet? April the 27th. Should be visible to the naked eye. There has to be a comet visible to the naked eye soon after these events. And it's connected to the Omen prophecy. So have a look at my videos. The Omen prophecy, where it predicts the Third World War when a comet will be visible in the sky. It is all predictive programming. So, King Charles is giving an important speech on April the 21st. He's about to die. He plans to go to America. Could there be a big event on April the 20th, April to the 21st? Could it be the death of Trump, as we see here in IPEC Code 2, with the months? Here. Is it connected to the guy with moustache, Trump? Is it connected to La Palma, Cumbre Vieja, the Queen, the Pope's death last year on the same day? 111 days. Thank you.